Okay, I was born again, many years ago. I can't even remember the date, but I do know I was 35 years old. I went to the hospital for a tubal ligation, and I kept feeling like I didn't know Jesus at all. And I was raised a Catholic, but I quit going to church when I was about 17 or 18. I kept feeling like I shouldn't have the tubal ligation. Like, don't have it, don't have it, don't have it. I don't want you to have it. I didn't realize it was God talking to me. But I went ahead and I had the tubal ligation. And in the recovery room, I believe it was, I left my body. I went up, this was in Pittsburgh, I went up above the telephone poles and down a pathway, and I could see a bright light at the other end. And I went and I went over hell. Now, I didn't actually go down into hell, but I was over hell. And I could hear the screams, the shouts, the hollering, the great, great, great pain of the people. And I said, I remembered a Catholic nun teaching me, maybe back in 4th or 5th grade. She said, call upon the name of the Lord and you will be saved. So I said, Jesus, Jesus, save me, and I will serve you all the days of my life. And he immediately brought me back into my body, and I've been serving him ever since. I didn't understand everything at first, but God moved an Episcopalian lady down the street from me, and she was born again, spirit-filled. No, she wasn't spirit-filled, but she was born again. And she would come up and talk to me about Jesus. And I'd say, well, I know I'm going to heaven because I'm a Catholic, and Catholics go to heaven. And she said, no, you need to be born again. It was a jar of change. Well, we would have coffee and everything together. She would pray for my marriage because it was rough. And I always wondered why, when Alice prayed, her prayers got answered. When I prayed, my prayers didn't get answered. So I asked her one day, and she said, well, come on down and have a cup of tea. So I went down with her, down to her house, had a cup of tea, and she had a Good News Bible sitting there. And she walked me through the plan of salvation while we talked and drank tea. And I didn't even realize what was going on. And she said, well, you pray. You want to pray? You want to ask Jesus to be your Lord? And I said, yeah, of course I do. So I did. She gave me the Bible, which was her daughter's, and I took it home and read it. I had a radical change in my life. People that I would sit with and drink coffee with and smoke cigarettes with, and I never swore like they swore, but I had my own vocabulary, which was rich. And even that got cleaned up almost immediately. And they began to compare me to Alice. You're just getting to be like Alice. It was funny, but thank God I was getting to be like Alice. I was right after I got saved from Alice leading me to Christ, I grabbed a bus into the city. And I didn't even know why I was going. I think I was going to shop, but there were detours in the city, so I had to get off at this one corner, and it was a Catholic bookstore. Well, I got off and I went in the bookstore because I love books, and I searched the shelves and I found this book called The Born Again Catholic. And I thought, okay. So I bought the book and I grabbed the next bus home. So I guess that's what I went for, and I just didn't realize it. I got home, and as I was reading, I read it constantly until I got almost to the end of it, and there was a prayer. It was a salvation prayer, and then there was a little bit more written, and then there was a prayer to be baptized in the Holy Spirit. So I prayed the prayer to be baptized in the Holy Spirit, and as I read that, and Al was next to me in bed sleeping, and I read, and then I closed the book, and that was it. That night, I woke up, and there was a bright light at the bottom of my bed, and I heard a voice, and it said, the Holy Spirit is upon you. And I said, oh, good. I said, let's get down and talk about this. So I got up out of bed, and I tiptoed downstairs, and I sat in a chair, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and he never came, and I was so disappointed. He didn't come for me to talk, and I wanted to find out all about everything, because I didn't know anything about, the baptism of the Holy Spirit. I knew nothing. So the next morning I had to go to the market, and as I was shopping, I saw what I never saw before. Instead of seeing happy, smiling faces, I saw the pain in people's hearts that didn't know Jesus. Nobody looked happy, because I was seeing into their soul, into their very being, instead of the outward appearance. And it was everywhere I went for like weeks, and I finally said, Jesus, take this away. I can't handle seeing everybody's pain. And he did take it away. And I've asked him since to give it back, and he hasn't given it back, but I know he will in time, when I'm ready to do what he wants me to do. And then one night the Lord said, go to church with Diane. I said, Diane's church closed? You know Diane's church closed. And he said, go to church with Diane. So I got my regular clothes on, because I knew Diane's church closed. Why should I just, and I thought, it must not be hearing you clear. So I got my regular clothes on, came down, put internet TV on, put the dog out to go to the bathroom, and Diane's going out the house, not dressed like she normally looks. I said, hi, where are you going? She said, off to church. And I said, oh no, I missed God. I said, I'm supposed to go to church with you today. And she said, no, Mark called or contacted us somehow, and that we're having church. And I said, I'll go with you next time. So that was that, and I repented for not being obedient to the Holy Spirit. Then the next week, the next time there was church, Diane said, we're having church such and such a day. And I said, I'll be ready. So I went, and it was good. And that's where I am now. And I just love all of you. You've all been so kind and open and welcoming. Keep doing that for people when they come. Welcome them. Pour out the love of God on them, because it's certainly within you. You're good people. Trust Jesus every step of the way, and he's never going to fail you, just like he's never failed me.